patios and let them come in, and with their backpacks, we do ask that you let them carry their backpacks. They are big kids and they want to be big kids. So please let your child carry their own backpack. Like I said, day 1 and day 2, you may bring them to the classroom and you can see where they're going to sit and all that good stuff. But we do ask that your goodbyes are brief. The longer you hang around, especially our ones that have a little bit of separation anxiety, the longer you stay, the harder it is for them to calm down. So just quick love, tell them you can't wait to see them at the end of the day, and then let them go. Daily folders. We all send home a daily folder. In this folder, you will have a communication calendar. It will let you know the good choices that your child makes, and then, if they make a not so good choice every once in a while, that will be noted in there as well. This folder needs to be emptied every day. It will contain notes of events going on in the school. We have field trips. It'll have permission slips and things like that. It'll also have your child's work. So we do ask that you do check the folder every day. If there are things that are in there, please take them out, read them over, and return those things that need to be returned. We do ask that you initial each day that, yes, I did see the behavior if there was an issue. It's a great opportunity to talk about how we can make better choices the next day. Discipline. I'm sure we're not going to have any discipline problems this year. I know that all of you have perfect angels out there. But if we do have an issue, it will be addressed in the communication calendar that I did mention. We ask that you do review this every day. When they do make good choices, praise them. When they choose not to make a good choice, that's a great opportunity to talk about, hey, what happened? What could you have done differently? How can we make a better day tomorrow? And not that we're going to have any, but if they do arise, severe behavior issues will be addressed in the office. Homework. Yes, your kindergartner will have homework. It's not a lot of homework, but it is important that your child is reinforcing the things that they're learning at school and they're showing you at home. So beginning September 3rd, we are going to be sending home homework folders. And in this homework folder is going to be a calendar of things that your child will be asked to do. There might be 1 or 2 paper pencil activities. Some of them are just orally counting. Hey, give me a word that rhymes with sock. Things like that. These activities will take no more than 5 minutes. And we do ask that you sit with your child and help them do the homework. It's things that they can do independently, but they want to show you how smart they are. So like I said, 5 minutes tops. So if you just find 5 minutes somewhere in your day just to sit down with your kiddo and just let them show you the things that they're learning in school. At the end of the week, on Friday, we ask that you return the folder so we can just check off who's doing the homework, and it will be returned to you the following Monday. Wi-Fi. Okay, kindergartners and technology devices. We will not ask you to bring your iPods, iPads, iPhones, and things like that right at the beginning of the school year. We do know that a 5-year-old, while they are somewhat responsible, that's a huge responsibility. So please do not send any devices unless it is specifically asked by the teacher. And we will let you know when your child will need to bring those devices. Again, it'll come home in that folder. Next. Are you okay? Dismissal. All right. I'm going to let Mrs. Daly, who is the queen of dismissal, discuss this next few slides.
I get the toughest thing every year. Okay, I see some parents that have been here before and know it's a nightmare. And the problem is we have a lot of parents that do pick up their kids, and we have one way in and one way out, so that makes it very difficult. And what we ask to begin with is for a lot of patience. It progressively gets better, and it gets progressively lots better. But we do have people that get frustrated at the beginning, and we say, we're doing the best we can, and the kids are doing the best they can, so just be patient. If your child is a car rider, you are not going to be allowed to park. A lot of people want to walk up and get their child. It's not safe. And everything we do is for the safety of the child. Especially at the beginning of the year, I don't know who you are. And I don't want to release this child to somebody I don't know who you are yet. So if you walk up, we're going to put a big smile on our face and say, can you please go back to your car and come through the carpool line with your sign? We have valet service, is how you will load your car. You will follow, you'll never be able to miss it, it'll be a long line, and you'll just wait your turn to come through the valet line. We radio ahead and tell the children what paw to go to, and there are 6 paws, I think 5? 6 paws. And we'll say, Whitney, go to paw 2. And by the time you pull around, your child will be at paw 2. We will personally load them into the car, close you up, and send you on your way. It works very well, and it's very, very safe. Oh, this is a big one for us. Please make sure your child will buckle themselves in. That becomes a problem like holding up traffic if they can't buckle themselves in. I taught a kid last year, it was like a movie I saw. I was like, all right, baby, we're going to practice pull and click. Pull and click. And that helps. If they can do it themselves, if they can get in, it makes that go a lot faster. Or if they can't, we suggest you pull over to let the traffic continue going in the parking lot so that you can get them clicked in safely, okay? So anyways, please stay in your car. Do not get out. Now, also in dismissal, you also have the option of being a walker. With that said, some people choose to walk, but also park their cars over here and wait for their children. You must wait on that side because the buses pull out. In order for the buses to pull out, you've got to be, there's a stop sign here, you've got to be on the right side of the stop sign over there. If you're parked anywhere else, it could be scary. It's hard for the buses and the daycare vans to get out. Again, we're looking at safety. We want the kids to be safe. We're good with you parking over there, but I'm going to be honest with you. I promise you we're faster out there than those kids go out there. Because usually we've got most of these cars out by the time these kids walk out as walkers. I promise. Just have patience. So if you are a walker, we have kids that leave here at, this is what we call this, park walkers, ones that go to the right. We have Water's Edge Way, kids that walk this way. And then we have a group of kids that go down to the stop sign with the crossing guard down here that go that way. So if they're Rosewood walkers. So if you do on your dismissal form, when you fill it out, if you have a teacher, if they are a walker, please distinguish whether it's a Rosewood walker. You can ask the teacher which one it would be. It helps us make sure that you guys don't panic when they go to the different stations. Okay, when we dismiss for the first week, your children will be given a bracelet that is color-coded. That tells us where they're supposed to be. Maybe purple is car riders, and as we load them individually, we take that bracelet from them so we know that every kid has been accounted for. That will only be the first week because they get it like that. They'll know which way they go. If they're a bus rider, we have one of our teachers that ride with the children. So that's nice because the poor babies, they fall asleep on the bus and you don't want them to get forgotten. And it's hot, so we have somebody there to make sure. And again, we're checking them on the bus. Susie checks them on the bus and checks them off the bus.
I will be doing the ranch and
Gables.
So whatever.
But we have teachers on every bus. Go ahead.
Check them off as they get on.
We strive to be very, and it's, I think some people get frustrated, but I promise you it's that we want these kids to be where they're supposed to be and they're with who they're supposed to be with. We want them to get, really the first week, our main goal for the whole week is that they get home safely. I think if you change dismissal, we have to have it in writing, in an email or call to the office, because we have little Joey that swears that he's going home with Nathan. And he said I could go home with him. And we're like, no, we will stick to our guns unless there is a no. We're going to say, I'm sorry, little Joey, you're going to have to go daycare today because I haven't heard from mom. So if there is a change by 2 o'clock, either get it to the office or email us. But I always tell parents, be leery if it's a late email. We do teach kindergarten. We're not at our computers. We may get and our conference period is 9 o'clock in the morning, so we may not get to our computer until by the time we come in after school. So don't rely on an email necessarily that's real late, okay? Call the office. They'll send us a note down, we'll know where to send it. Again, we want them to be safe. Did I cover it, do you think? Oh, you're going to get car tags. And that your name is on there, just hang that in the window. And the best thing that I have seen is the kids' skirt hanger or pants hanger. Clip that thing, hang it in your window from the rear view mirror, because when they drive through, they call it out, and you're ready to go. And then you can just take it down for the next day. Also, keep that car tag, because eventually, if you don't have that car tag, they're going to make you get out of your car, park, come in, get some new tags, sign out your child, and then go. So just keep it with you. And if you need 10 tags because other people are picking up or whatever, we'll give you as many tags as you need. Anything else? Any questions that I can answer about dismissal right now? Yes, sir. It's the same process. They will have a color band too. They're a group. We escort them to that area, and they will be taken care of. Yes, sir. We dismiss from inside. Same technique. We radio it. We're out in the rain. Give us a thumbs up when we're out there in the rain. Tell us we're doing a great job, and that we look good in our rain gear. If you have a walker, we're not going to let you come in. Usually what we do, kids that are walkers, I had Jaden's son, he panicked about rain. Have an alternate plan is what I would tell you. Say, if it's really pouring, I may come pick you up. And have that sign, and you may want to just drive through and get them. Absolutely. Just keep your car sign, and on those days, just tell your child, hey, buddy, you know what? Or call the office and say, hey, I'm going to pick up so-and-so today. And we got it. But we do dismiss from inside. And actually, I'll tell you, even when it's hot, which potentially at the beginning of the year it could be, if it's really hot outside, we're going to dismiss from inside also, because it's too hot for these poor babies to sit out there for that long. Okay? Yes, ma'am. 3 weeks. Yes, ma'am. And those kids, I'm telling you, these guys are smart. They get it like that. They make us proud. Any other questions? Yes. Anywhere you can out there? Good luck? No, I'm kidding. There should be, first day will be hard. Everybody will be parked on the road and stuff because everybody likes to bring in their child. Second day it calms down a little bit, so it shouldn't be any problem. Anything else? Yes, sir.
If somebody picks them up under the tag, do we give them the list or?
Give the car tag. Car tag is your ticket home.
Or they also have to be a part of the emergency contact. Okay? So when you get on Skyward, and that's where we keep all the information of who's allowed to pick up your child or not, go ahead and put that on your emergency list. Because if you can't make it, but you need your neighbor to come pick them up, we're going to ask them for an ID and compare that to what you've given us permission to. If they are not on the emergency list, we will not hand them to that person until we have gotten you on the phone. Okay? And that's, again, for safety issues.
Yes, I do. This is the bad part. We love our police, and they're here a lot. Do not, first of all, be on your cell phone. I think it's a $250 fine if you are out here on your phone. They will get you. Also, don't park the opposite direction, and this is the big one. All right, you're out here, and there's a long line of traffic, and you really, you're not even supposed to turn left, y'all. I'm going to tell you that right now. Technically, the rule is there is no left turn out of here after school.
You'll see people that turn left.
But don't go to
the dark
side. Turn right. Anyways, and you don't want to wait in that line of traffic, so you think, I'll just pull around these people and go. I can't tell you how many tickets we saw happen. That is illegal. You cannot pull out and pass everybody by. Don't do it. You're better off turning right. That's the follow directions. But they are out there, and especially at the beginning. The other thing is seatbelts. There's kids that are bopping around as they leave the parking lot. They're going to get you. The other thing that they don't like is speeders. There's some people that rush through out here. It's not safe. We have lots of little kids, and we have more than we've ever had. And sometimes they're hard to see. Please don't speed out here anywhere. All right? The other thing is, what I would tell you, don't park this road, the Water's Edge right here, that lines the school right here. Do not park there. One, I think your door might get taken off because the buses are coming through there and stuff. It's very unsafe. The other thing that we don't ever want to see, and Melinda will get you on this, I'm going to park outside on the road right out here, and I'm going to let my kid out and let them run across the parking lot to get into school, and I'm going to wave them. Very unsafe. You must drop them off. Okay? I know some of us get in a rush. Just take those extra couple minutes to be safe. Oh, and there is no drop-off in the back either. Because a lot of our staff is out here. This is for special needs children that need special transportation and that kind of stuff. This is, and it's bus and daycare. I could go on.
There's a lot of do's and don'ts. And this is mainly for daddies. Because there's a right way and a wrong way. And I know that because I hear from a lot of fathers. But it works. It's smooth. You know it's right, left, you know it just runs. And in the morning, I have every orifice open in this building, which I don't do. No other school does it, but we need to do it because our traffic flow is so heavy. So when I reroute you in the back in the morning, it's okay. Because kindergarten's right back there, and we even put in a sidewalk for them to walk. And we have people at every orifice letting kids in. And they do a pretty good job, you know. But I'm going to ask you to move up. I'm going to smile. I'm out front every day, those of you that know me. I'm out front every day. And I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to whip it through. It is important that I save your time and that I get those kids in this building for 7:30 now. And 7:30 to 2:30, that's not a whole lot of time, but I get you in and out so you have places to go. But if you're not a working parent, you're good to go. You stay, bring a book, you have to sit out here in the afternoon and wait on time. It works, but I will escort you if you're making your 5-year-old with the siblings fourth grade go someplace else. I have to comply with safety regulations by the state and by the Fed. And with all this going on in the world, I'm just going to make a whole lot of
And it is just, and really, we're not doing it to frustrate you, but I'm telling you, it works beautifully. I promise. You can hold me to it. Yes, sir.
You have car tags for car drop-off. What
Yes.
about the walkers? How do you
Walkers, they'll be tagged. I can't control. I'm not used to it. They'll have bracelets. We'll know who they are, and there's lists. We know where they go.
If I
We're
have-
always there.
No, yeah.
Oh, if you guys need to be there, because what's going to happen is then you're going to have to walk up and you'll have to sign them out. Yeah, we bring them back. We never just say, fly, you're free.
So the parents still have to pick them up?
They've got to. Unless there's an older sibling that they walk with or whatever. I mean, there are some that walk with older siblings or ride a bike. But,
I promise you guys will get to know your faces.
yes.
You just know what the situation is at home. And some of you, we already know, and we pretty much know how it's going to go. But the new parents, I just box in a little bit, and then I'll relax a little bit when I know faces, and when I see with lunch daily, or occasionally I might see a dad that I don't recognize because mom always brings me out. Takes me a little bit, but we'll get to know you guys, and I promise it's easy.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Do you still do alphabet?
Yes. Alpha Best is a group that we walked in personally to the group. Yes. All right, am I good? I'll turn it back over.
Fantastic. Good job, Erica Daly. Thank you. That is usually like I said, our biggest concern is how your child is getting home that first week. They don't know their colors or ABCs. We're okay. We just want to know that they are getting home safely. All right, accidents do happen. So we do ask that you pack a seasonal change of clothes. So when the season changes, please make sure to take out that extra baggie of clothes and put in like a winter outfit, because your child might not have an accident until January, and they pull out that baggie and there's shorts. So please make sure that as the seasons change, you do change the Ziploc bag of clothes. Yes, accidents aren't just bathroom related. It could be a chocolate milk incident. It could be we got a little crazy with the paint today. So it's not just bathroom. It's just general messiness that could happen. Breakfast. We do serve breakfast here at Tibbles. It begins service at 7 a.m. It does stop at 7:20. So if your child is going to be a breakfast eater, we ask that you get them here right at 7. Because again, if they're not in that classroom by 7:30, they will be counted tardy. The cost for breakfast is $1.50. Next. Lunch. The cost of lunch went up just a little bit. It's now $2.30, and it does include milk. We ask that you use the Skyward Family Access to pay for your child's lunch account. That's the easiest and best way to keep your child's lunch account current. But if you do choose to send in money, please make sure that the money is sent in an envelope with your child's name, that it is for lunch money, and that if you include your child's ID number, which you will be getting at Meet the Teacher, on the envelope, we'd appreciate it. Now, the scholars only have 25 minutes to eat. We are a very full campus, so I mean, kids are coming, kids are going. So they have 25 minutes to eat and then 5 minutes to clean up. We do ask that your children are eating during that time. So you might want to just talk to Sally or Joey and say, hey honey, when it's lunchtime, let's cut down on the chit chat, let's make sure we're eating. Okay? Now, if you do choose to come up, you are very welcome to come up for lunch. You may bring lunch for your child only. You're not allowed to bring lunch for 3 other kids. So if you do choose to come up for lunch, we love seeing parents to come up. But just make sure you're bringing food for your child. Another thing, we ask that your child feed themselves. You've had some issues of parents feeding their children. And if that's something you do at home, hey, that's great. That's what you want to do at home. But here at school, we ask that your child feeds themselves. So if you do come up for lunch, we do want them to eat on their own. Medicine. Some children do take medicine on a daily basis. If you do have medicine that your child needs to take, we do ask that it just goes straight to the nurse. The nurse is the only person that can administer any form of medicine, whether it's cough drops or it is a prescription. We do ask that all medicine comes in the box with the prescription clearly marked, and it's going to go straight to Nurse Gina. Sick scholars. We don't like it when our kiddos are sick, but it does happen. If they are sick, we do ask that they stay at home, and they do need to be fever-free for 24 hours. We want to make sure that the sickness does not spread. We had a couple of bad outbreaks of the flu and things like that. So if your child is sick, please just keep them home. They don't want to be at school. They're sick. They just want to be at home, snuggle on the couch, trying to get better. So if they are sick, please keep them at home. When they do return, please provide a note stating that they were ill. If they went to the doctor, please provide that note. If your child does need to miss PE or recess for any reason, it does need to be a note from the doctor. stating why they need to stay inside. Because kids, they need to be out running, they need to be out exercising and getting fresh air. Just because little Johnny really doesn't like the slide and I don't want to go outside today. Honey, you're still going to have to go outside. So we do ask that. There are reasons for children to stay inside. If you can just have the doctor provide a note, fine. Money. We do ask for money for certain things. We always ask you to send money in an envelope with your child's name clearly marked on the front and why you're bringing in the money. A $20 bill in an envelope with nothing marked. I don't know if this is for lunch. Could this maybe be for a field trip? I'm not sure. So please make sure anytime you do send money that it is in an envelope, it's in a flat baggie of some sort, and that it is labeled why you're bringing it to school. Question. Okay. Yes. Yes.
If they're just sick, you know, when they had a fever for 24 hours, they don't have to go to the doctor.
No, but if they do go to the doctor, provide a note. If they just had a little stomach bug and it didn't need to be seen by a doctor, if you just write, you know, Sarah had a really bad tummy ache, that's why she stayed home. I believe it's 3 days. They can stay home without a doctor's note. 3 days. Yes, sir. All right, downtime. We will have downtime for no more than 30 minutes during the first 6 weeks of school. During this downtime is when they are having their read to self time. They are also having it's a long day for kindergartners. And so they just need a time just to relax a little bit. This is also time where teachers are going to be pulling your child one-on-one to do some assessments, just to get some baseline data, to see what your child knows. It's only for the first 6 weeks. We do ask you to send a beach towel or small blanket that will fit inside a cubby. Now, we're not talking about a sleeping bag, or a kinder mat, or a big stuffed animal, or a pillow. We're not having a slumber party. We're just having the downtime in a confined, in their little marked space with their towel or blanket. If their child doesn't bring one, they're just going to sit on the floor. It's not a big deal. But we do not need to see sleeping bags, pillow pets, or anything like that. Just a small towel will suffice. Please dress for the weather. We have outside recess every day, unless it is below 40 degrees or above 100 degrees. So if it's 41 degrees in December, we're going out. If it is 99 degrees next week, we're going out. So please make sure that you dress your child accordingly. When wintertime comes, we do ask that if it's a coat, anything that could come off your child's body, scarf, hat, mittens, anything, please make sure their name is on it so we know who to return the item to if it gets lost. Safety, again, it's very important. Yes, ma'am? If you're going to do sunscreen, you would have to put it on your child whenever they go to school. No, please do not send sunscreen. If you want your child to have it, just put it on before they come to school. Yes. All right, again, safety is our #1 priority. So we do ask that your child knows his or her full name, because a lot of times the first week of school we'll be saying, Sarah, Sarah. And Sarah might just be sitting there smiling. How pretty is going to be? We're like, baby, is your name Sarah? So please make sure your child knows his or her full name and that they will respond to it as well. And we do ask that they know your name. If you can work on them knowing their address and phone numbers and things like that, and especially how they're getting home, that would be very beneficial. Again, we want to have your child safe at all times. Toys. We do not ask that you bring toys to school unless the teacher asks. There are times when we will ask your child to bring their favorite stuffed animal for an activity or things like that. If a teacher does not send a note, do not send the toy to school. Now, several of your kids do go to an after-school daycare, and we know that they're allowed to bring toys. We still ask that if there is a toy, it's going to have to stay in the backpack, because if it comes out, it could get lost and broken, and it's just not a good idea. So we just ask that all toys stay at home. Birthdays. We love celebrating birthdays. if you want to celebrate your child's birthday here at school, we do ask that you let us know. Now, food and drinks, there are so many different allergies and things that children have. We discourage you bringing like juice and food treats and things like that, just because there are so many allergies. But if you do choose to provide that and you want to, you need to let your child's teacher know in advance so we can get it approved. But again, the best way to do it is just maybe send a little treat bag or something like that, just because, you know, we do have children with allergies and we want to be mindful of that. Next, birthday book club. I almost missed it. This is the most important thing about celebrating birthdays. We started 4 years ago. This will be the 5th year that we've done the birthday book club. What it is every month I send out a notice to all the children who have a birthday in August. So in August and September, all the children with birthdays in August and September will receive a note that says, join the birthday book club. What it is I have a list of books that I have in my room that I bought from Barnes & Nobles. If you want your child to do this, and this is kind of on Fridays when we do Tiger Tracks, they get to come up on stage and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, what I do is you get, the book gets donated to the library. So after you fill out the paperwork and say, yes, I want to do this with my child, they come to my room, they'll pick a book. I will write you a note saying this is the book they chose and this is how much it is. If you don't like that, you want to come in and take a look, that's fine too. I will ask that you send a picture. Once I receive the cash or the check, I will finish your child's book. And what I do is I put their picture in the book with a nameplate that says their name, when their birthday was, and who they dedicated their book to. And then on Friday, when Tiger Tracks comes and we're all in here having our assembly, we have a little moment of birthday book club, and I will pass out the books. They get to come up on stage. We sing happy birthday to them. It's their moment of glory. They get to celebrate their birthday in front of the whole school. Your child gets to take the book home first. When they're finished, they bring it back to either me or the librarian. She checks it in. It becomes part of the library forever. Your child will be in the library forever. In the past 4 years, we have had 742 books, new books put on the shelf. So it's fun. The kids are so excited to go, oh, I got my friend's book. And so it's increased reading in the school. So once your child receives that during their birthday birthday month, if you choose to do it, it's totally optional, but it's a fun thing to do. So kids love it. Thank you, Mrs. Garcia. Report cards. We are switching from a 6 weeks to a 9 weeks. So in the past, if you've had older children, you know that we've had a report card every 6 weeks. That is changing this year district-wide. We are now moving to a 9-week schedule. So you'll be getting a report card every 9 weeks, and you'll receive the first one at the end of the first 9 weeks. Now you'll also have parent-teacher conferences. These are held in the fall just to go over some data. And also, if necessary, there'll be one in the spring. If you feel the need to come and meet with us in conferences about your child, whether it's behavior reasons, academic reasons, whatever, just let us know. Just send us an email or a note, and we will be happy to meet with you. As I said, assessments will be given within the first 4 weeks of school. We're going to be pulling your child up one at a time, individually, during that downtime. And we're going to be going over the things that they will know. This is what we're going to be talking about during your first conference. It's our baseline data. We also give state standardized tests. It's called Ames Web in both reading and math. They are given 3 times a year. They're given at the beginning of the year, usually end of September, early October. They're given again in January, and then they're given again at the end, or close to end of April, or early May. We will be going over these results during our first parent conference. Again, this is just baseline data. We just want to see what your child knows. Obviously, as the year progresses, we want to see it go up. There are some essential skills that every kindergartner needs to know. Number one, we want them to be able to sing their ABCs. That's pretty easy. So if you haven't been working on singing ABCs and things like that, go ahead and start practicing on those. We do want them to be able to do that from the get-go. We'd also like them to be able to write their first and last name. Definitely their first name. Starting next week, we would want them to be able to at least write their first name. When we're looking at their name, we want them just being able to write their name. The capital letter is the first one. That's the only one that is capital. Everything else should be lowercase. We're also asking that your child should already know all 26 letters. It'd be great if they already knew their letter sounds. If not, we already have strategies in place to help your child be able to do those things. But from the get-go, kindergarten, let me tell you, is not playing anymore. I know when I went to kindergarten, it was half day. And it was just how to get along with your friends. I'm going to learn to share my blocks with Timmy. I'm going to learn to eat nicely at the cafeteria table, and then I go home. That is no longer kindergarten. Kindergarten is very rigorous. We want your children reading. We want your children writing, doing basic arithmetic, learning lots, being able to conduct science experiments, and being responsible members of society. So kindergarten is no longer just playing. Kindergartner is expected to know more than just, this is the color red. So if you see this list and you're like, oh my gosh, my kid does not know all the letters of the alphabet, it's okay. That's what we're here for. We just want to prepare you. These are the things that your child will be expected within the first couple of weeks. We want them to already know some of these things. So don't be alarmed, but we do want you to know that kindergarten is very different now. So not only do we want them to identify, we'd also like them to be able to write their letters, capital and lowercase. If they can count from 0 to 20, they can also identify and write numbers 0 to 20 and basic sight words. And what I mean by basic sight words, their name is the first sight word that your child will know. So they already can recognize their name. Check, they already know a sight word. Pat yourself on the back. Other basic sight words like I, can, go, things like that. Again, if your child is struggling in these areas, don't worry. We already have interventions and strategies in place to help your child be the super rock star that we know who they are. Parent access is very, very important that you log on to your parent access account. All the mandatory paperwork and things are going to be on this account. You can fill it out all online. That is the easiest and best way to do this. You want to do this. Otherwise, you're going to get a nasty gram from Miss Tina in the office. You don't want to get a nasty gram from Miss Tina in the office. So please, go ahead, get on, log on, and fill out all the paperwork. Any updates and things like that, you're going to get through this account. I noticed on the Wiley ISD homepage, you can now have it, I think it's Sky Alert. You can have it sent to your cell phone, you can have it sent to your iPad, you can have it sent to multiple mobile devices, updates and alerts and things like that. It is the best way to stay informed. If you do need assistance, Ms. Tina is the one to help you. She can help you with your login, username, and things like that. We don't have your passwords and username, but Ms. Tina does, and she will be able to help you. And she will be here on Meet the Teacher. And the computer lab will be open Meet the Teacher night for you to do those things.
In 10 minutes, y'all. I did it. It's probably 10 minutes. It's not anything. You're just doing electronic signatures. It's really easy.
Volunteers, we love, 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 love parent helpers. We send home little notices that, hey, we're going to have a picnic, or we are going to the park, or we're going to do different things, and we're going to need some parent help. We'll send home a letter to let you know how and when you can volunteer. If you choose to be a volunteer, you have to do two things first. There's a background check that you need to fill out, and a confidentiality agreement. Now, the background check does take about 2 to 3 weeks to process, so what I say, Meet the Teacher night, go ahead and fill one out, get it turned in, you're good for the year. Same with the confidentiality agreement. Basically, that's saying what you see at school, you don't talk about at the pool, or you don't talk about at Target. Like if you see that Timmy's having a really hard time doing something, you don't need to chit-chat about that at the new Walmart. Everything you see or hear needs to stay here at school. PTA. We have our PTA Vice President, Ms. Shelley Heller, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about how you can become a member of PTA.
My name is Shelley, and I serve as the Vice President for PTA and the kindergarten room parent. I have two children who attend here at Tibbals, one in the 3rd grade and one who will be going to kindergarten. I would like to invite you to join PTA, and there are so many fun levels of volunteer opportunity throughout the year. I would also like to encourage you to be active in your child's classroom. Every teacher in kindergarten is different and needs different style and level of help. Please get to know them, ask them what you can do to help. The perk of it is, 1, you get to know your child's teacher. 2, your child feels special that you are involved in their daily activities, and you will be popular at school among their classmates. You will be known as your child's mom or dad. I volunteer schedule around my child's lunch so that I can be here to help and then stay and eat lunch with her. So then you ask, well, how do I get involved? Well, I started volunteering when my now 3rd grader was in kindergarten. I would come on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I laminate, cut, paste, make copies, arrange classrooms, anything to make the teacher's day go by smoother. You don't realize the little help you offer goes a long way to the teacher. You can help as little or as much as you want. Obviously, we want you to help a lot. If you like, let's see, sorry, I'm not a speaker. If you like, you can probably, at first I was hesitated, but then, because I was new to the area, I didn't know anybody. But I'm so thankful that I came, and it was rewarding to me because I got to be with my kids. And so being the room parent, you are actually the go-to person to communicate with the teacher and the other parents at the classroom. I do know that there are some classrooms now that do not have a room parent, and we hope that every single one of these teachers have a room parent. And I know a lot of you work, and that's perfectly fine. If you do work, you can just email or find a designated person to help you with the parties. So what the room parent does is they just kind of help organize the parties, help the teachers, just help them out. And I have here a form for you to fill out. And again, you can do little, nothing. I mean, you can do as little or as much. You can just do part of it. You can give an hour. You can give 2 hours. You can give the whole year, you know. I work from home, so my hours are somewhat flexible. I'm happy to meet any one of you up here and show you the ropes, show you the workroom, you know, how things are done around here. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to, ask. Feel free to ask me anything. And the best way to communicate with me is via email. So.
Ms. Shelley? So if you do want to join PTA, there will be some packets and things that will be coming home in your child's folder. The cost of joining PTA is $8.50. The first day of school. It's a big deal sending your kindergartner. Whether this is your first baby or your last baby coming to kindergarten, it is a big deal. And we want to show you a little bit of some kindness on that day, because it's hard. I'm now a mommy, so I can only imagine I'm going to be a mess when my little girl is in kindergarten. So we do know that it's a very emotional time. So we have what's called Tears, Tissues, and Tea. And the PTA is going to be hosting a very special breakfast. And this is only for kindergarten parents, just for you guys. You're the newbies, and we want to honor that and make you feel just as special as we're making your child feel. So we're going to have coffee, donuts, and if you need it, there will be a tissue or two.